Today we are diving into something every producer needs to know. Hi-hat patterns. Hi-hat are backbone of many genres from house to hip-hop, and they add extra energy and groovy to your tracks. Hi everyone, this is Efna. In this video, I will share some creative ways to program your hi-hats to bring your beats to life. In this video, I will share 7 patterns with you. Before we started, I will be appreciate if you like my video and maybe leave some comment and subscribe. In this video, I will use Ableton, but you don't need to use Ableton, you can use Ada. Let's get started. Hi-hats play a crucial role in shaping rhythm and groovy in a track, especially in electronic music. Now I will give you some quick tips for your hi-hats. Use both close and open hi-hats to add deep to your track. Vary the velocity to give groovy and natural feel, and add some swing to make more organic. Increase syncopation to enhance to groovy. With these tips, I will make some patterns. Let's go to my first patterns. My first pattern is 16 note pattern. For more energy and intensity, you can use fast 16 notes, which are typically in divine techno tracks. This fill up space with a constant hi-hat hits, create a sense of urgency and propulsion. Let's go to Ableton. As you see here, and there are 16 notes. I used my close hi-hat in all the notes, and it sounds like this. Generally use this with close hi-hat, because when you use with open hi-hats you will not like the sound, because it will be a little bit long, because open hi-hats will give you some long sound. And if you listen this with some kick, with some snare and kick, I will show you how to add variation to this 16 notes pattern. For this, first I will duplicate this pattern, and I will go and first I will play with their velocity. Okay, and I will go with down, little bit up, down and down, and I will duplicate this one. Let's listen. As you hear, it's good. Before it was like this. It's like machine gun. But if you add some velocity, you can make some other things. For example, you can this one up. I like other one. Other way to add variation, you need to use swing. For swing, the offbeat notes need to be moved a little bit to the side. Now I will show you how to make swing. This one, the first one is downbeat, and this one and this one, they are offbeats, and this one is upbeat. For swing, you need to your side little bit your offbeats. Now I choose my offbeats and I will side them little bit, and if you listen, now before it was like this. It's, I told you before, it's so like machine, but when you add a little bit swing, you make and it will add a little bit variation to your track. And listen with your kick. My second pattern is simple offbeat patterns. This is very common pattern used in house, techno and other dance music genres. This close hi-hats hit the offbeats, between the kick and drums. This create a divine rhythm with a plenty of space for the other element of the track. And as you see, as I say before, these are offbeats. In this one, you just need to use your offbeats, and it sounds like this. It's so simple. It's common. Third pattern is syncopated hi-hat patterns. Adding a syncopated rhythm with offbeats can bring some groovy and complexity. This fits with melodic techno or deep techno or deep styles. And by the way, if you don't know what is syncopation, I made a video about this and you can find video in my description. You can check from there. And by the way, syncopation, I will say quick. Syncopation is highlight your offbeats, your weak beats, and break your rhythm. As you remember, before I said this sound is like machine gun. In syncopation, you generally broke this sound and you left some empty space. In this pattern, if you hear, as you see, it's not same all the time, and it's give you some feel. It's give you some feel to dance with. And if you listen this one with our kick, in this pattern I start with my downbeat and I left one empty space and two notes, and again one empty, one full, one empty, two full, one empty, one full, and gone. And here at the end I left two empty, and generally this will break this loop. As you see, one empty, one empty, one empty, and two empty, and this gives syncopation. Fourth pattern is treble groovy. A treble based pattern can add swing and shuffle to your beat. This can add a rolling and shuffling feel to your beat. And if we listen, it's alone, it's not so much. If we listen with our kick, listen with, as you see, one note, three empty, two note, three empty, two note, three empty, and one note, one empty, and back to the where you start. This one also adds some syncopation, and this syncopation will give you some groovy feel. Now I'm going to layer patterns. In more layered patterns, use both open and close hi-hat together for variation. In layer patterns, I have three examples. Three patterns. First layered pattern, it will be with syncopation and velocity. In this pattern, close hi-hats are placed on a syncopated patterns with varying velocity for a more humanized feel. Open hi-hats are placed more spirally on the 3rd and 12th steps, giving the rhythm, space, and emptiness. And as you see here, these are my close hi-hats, and as you see, I play with my close hi-hats. Velocity, as you see here, can see velocity here. But my open hi-hats, they I didn't play with their velocity, and it sounds like this. If you listen with our kick, listen with. In my close hi-hat, I use the hi-hat to space, hi-hat to space, hi-hat to space, and here it's empty because it will be give you some syncopation feel, and here it's not empty. And but the other open hi-hats, they don't have syncopation or variation or something, but with the close hi-hats they will give you some syncopation feeling, and they give you some variation. My sixth pattern is open hi-hat at the end of the bar. Here my open hi-hat here. This pattern plays the open hi-hats toward end of the bar, creating a subtle but effective build up. The open hi-hat land on the upbeat after fourth downbeat, and this giving a sense of closure or tension at the end of the bar. Okay, now listen this one alone. Now listen with the kick. Close hi-hat, 3 empty space, close hi-hat, 1 empty space, 1 close hi-hat, 3 empty space and 1 close hi-hat, and all the empty space. My seventh patterns is another layer pattern with close and open hi-hats work together. In this pattern, my close hi-hats first play in the downbeat and upbeat, upbeat and upbeat, in the while my open hi-hats play in the offbeats, and this is create a syncopation between the open hi-hat and close hi-hat. This will may give you some engaging groovy, and this will work with melodic techno, for example. You can use with others also. You have to try and you should see it's good or not. Now if we listen this pattern, if you listen with kick, this was my patterns. I hope this video will helpful for you. I will be appreciate if you share your thought after watching the video, and let's see you in another video. Bye bye.